It says, not sure if you watched this NYPD chase that ends with a suspect being. Did you react to it and haven't? All right, I'll put it up in the queue. We'll react to that after. Okay, Jesus Kid says, I hate talking to females, blah, blah. Okay. So, give me one sec, chat. This is going to be, somebody get the clip ready, bro, because I'm about to, this is very important what we're going to discuss here in a second. Give me one sec. I'm going to throw this shit out. And, my friends, we are going to break this down. And songwriter, she was born June 7, 1990. So she's about to be 36 years old. Right? Past her prime, old, right? In female years at least. Frank, go to your bed. Bed, buddy. Right? She's 35 years old. I don't think she's relevant music-wise anymore. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think she's had a hit in a very long time. And I don't think that she's really in the spotlight like that making music anymore. Hence why she's gambling on right? And she's hanging out with Neon. So this is who she is, right? Born in Sydney, moved to the United States at the age of 16 to pursue a career in music, sharing the public recognition after releasing the music videos for 2 times back in 2011. So yeah. So she's basically an Australian white girl rapper, right? So I noticed that she's been doing a lot of content with Neon. For those of you that don't know, Neon is a American Indian streamer that for a while dated a girl named Sam Frank, that used him. I warned him that she would use him, and he stayed with her, and she basically built her OnlyFans and her entire streaming career off of him. And yeah. So here he is talking with this girl, Iggy Azalea. Okay. So let's go ahead and go through this again. Because there's some things here that I want you guys to really pay attention to. HBO says women hate men trying to improve. Very true. We're going to address that as well. So let's play this back from the beginning. I even turned on the YouTube because a lot of you guys need to hear what I'm about to say here. So let's play this back. All right, rewind it. All right.
I don't know, guys. I think that the soy boys actually might be the red pillars.
They told me.
Here's my thing. Hear me out, though, before we get into this, because I need to focus on Blackjack.
Okay.
If you were really alpha,
yeah,
why would you need to even be thinking or getting advice on this subject? Like, a wolf is just out there hunting. He doesn't need all this advice about it. I don't know. It makes me think that secretly that is beta. Is it not? I don't know. I just know if I was a guy and he was like, I watch podcasts on how to be a man, I'd be like, weak. I don't know. You shouldn't need to get like, I don't know. I'm not watching podcasts about how to be a woman.
They're low key. Damn, the chat's saying facts.
Facts. Like, it's kind of a move to be like, I need life help. It's like, okay, that's not alpha in itself. You'd just be out there raw dogging life.
Oh, we're gonna replay it and actually go ahead and so I'll speak for myself. Number one, I have never once ever called myself an alpha, ever. And I find it interesting how people will say toxic alpha male, or they'll say purported alpha, blah, 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 when I've never actually called myself an alpha ever. I think it's extremely cheesy, tacky. That's number one. Never actually referred to myself as an alpha. Now, here's the thing though. If you come to that conclusion on your own, that's not my problem. Which, inadvertently, that's basically what it is. If you come in and you say, oh, you're a fake alpha, well, I never called myself an alpha. So you must, to some degree, perceive me in that way. And then your response is to try to disqualify and say it's a fake alpha, even though I never purported myself to be that way. That's number one, right? So no one can actually, you cannot claim to be an alpha yourself. That is other people recognize and notice about you and identify you as based on your behavior. Any guy that sits there and calls himself an alpha is, I'll be honest with y'all. That's why I never say it. It's up to the person that is interacting with you to make that decision based on your behaviors. That's number one. So I've never called myself an alpha. Okay? Next, she goes into,
like, a wolf is just out there hunting. He doesn't need all this advice about it. I don't know. It makes me think that secretly that is beta. Is it not?
okay, so she's insulting the notion of a guy needing advice, help, instruction, and guidance in being an alpha, okay? For me to properly explain this to you guys, we must go into the female psyche first and then bring it back. I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to say this again. And I really want you guys to internalize this shit, okay? Women don't understand and don't respect male self-improvement. I'm going to say that again. Women do not understand or respect male self-improvement. And I don't want you guys to get mad at them for this, okay? They're incapable of understanding this concept. I'll tell you why. Everything that a woman, right? Everything that makes a woman valuable, she's born with. Everything that makes a man valuable is earned. I'm going to say that again. Everything a woman is born with makes her valuable. Everything you have that's valuable must be earned through trial, tribulation, consistency, and most importantly, time. You got to put time in to create value. Women are born with value. Okay? That's just how it is. Women are born, men are made. Once you understand this concept that men must create their value while women are born with value, now we can go ahead and address the issue here. The reason why someone like Iggy Azalea, right, doesn't understand this concept is because she's never really had to work to be attractive, okay? Women are able to secure a mate with little to no effort. Meanwhile, for a man to secure a mate, he has to put quite a bit of effort. Okay? There's a famous phrase that I've been saying for years. Women don't build, they move in. Women don't build, they move in. And the reason why they have the privilege of moving in is because they have the value to move in as soon as they turn 18. Men, however, have to build the castle in which they will live. Now, I want to be clear about this. This is reflective of the entire animal kingdom. This is not just exclusive to humans, okay? Their feathers need to be huge, colorful. Male lions need to protect the pride, right? This is all across the animal kingdom that men have to put a significant amount of work to be able to have mating access, okay? Since women don't have to put in work to have the privilege of mating, they do not understand the work that's required for said mating, okay? So I don't want you guys to be mad at someone like Iggy Azalea for saying stupid. She will never understand. And most women won't, my friends. I've said this analogy before, but I'm going to say it again, all right? Women just want to come to the pizza pizza shop and enjoy the pizza. Do you understand? They want to come to the pizza shop and enjoy the pizza. Freshly squeezed tomatoes. They don't give a that you're using extremely clean water that got imported from Saudi Arabia to be utilized in the pizza dough. They don't care that you spent $10,000 on a oven to put the pizza into so that you get that particular crisp. They don't care that you put a certain type of cheese on it to give a certain flavor. They don't care about any of that. And not only do they care, not only do they not care about the pizza and how you made it and all the you have to put in to make said pizza, they don't care about anything else on the item on the list either. They don't care about the breadsticks. They don't care about the freshly squeezed orange juice. They don't care about the fact that you pay 3 times as much so that the Coca-Cola tastes better than at McDonald's. They don't know that you have one of the best pizza chefs in the country in the back that coached you on how to make the perfect slice. They don't care about none of that shit. Women just want to go to the pizza shop and eat the pizza, but they don't understand all the trials and tribulations and suffering you had to do to build that pizza shop. In other words, all these food testers, they're not in the back making the pizza. They just consume the pizza. So they'll never understand what it takes to eat the pizza and what makes it good. They don't know the difference between your pizza shop and Papa John's. Because they've never been in the back importing this water from the Middle East, using a certain type of sauce, using a special oven that gets into a certain crispiness that can't be replicated. They don't know none of that. And they'll never understand any of that because these consume the pizza that you make and they don't give a about how you made the pizza. They just want to go to the best pizza shop. That's it. That has the highest reviews, that has the 5-star ratings, that the celebrities eat at. That's what they want. Now, let me be clear about this. Are there some women that after going to your pizza shop for a while will say, you know what? I want to meet the chef. I want to meet the owner. This is fantastic. I'd like to help you with this. How do you do this? Maybe 1 out of 1,000 will give a actually learn the process and want to help. But most don't. And quite frankly, they'll never understand and they don't care. Because there's pizza shops all over the place. And to be honest with you, showing them had you made this amazing pizza might turn them off. Because they just want to enjoy the pizza without knowing how it's made. Okay? This is a very ugly reality that you guys need to understand as a man. Women don't care about self-improvement. And if you tell them how you self-improved, you might actually lose attraction. They want you to just get it. They just want to go into the pizza shop, enjoy the pizza, and walk out. My friends, this is the female experience. They have no grasp or concept on the difficulty of being a man because they live life on easy mode. Do you get that? Now, everybody else is too much of a admit this because we live in a gynocentric social order where the female way of thinking is the right way of thinking. But women live life on easy mode. We just saw Sophie Rain barely able to understand an analogy, making $100 million a year, bro, or in 2 years. This girl was a idiot. She was on a big podcast show and couldn't focus on any of the questions asked. Pierce had to come in and save her multiple times. This is a 50 IQ, but makes $50 million a year. Let that sink in. She makes $50 million a year, but she has a 50 IQ. Tell me a woman's life isn't easy. Tell me it's not. You could be a bumbling window licking, mouth breathing, idiotic as a female and make it through life. You will still find a rich man if you're cute enough. A rich man will change a broke woman's life forever. But a rich woman will never look a broke man's way, ever. In other words, you got to build a pizza shop and have raving reviews for people to even want to come and eat at it. These don't even know how to spin dough. They're just there to eat the pizza. That, my friends, is the relationship between men and women. So when people like Iggy Azalea, right, are saying the dumb shit that they say, like, why do you need help with this? Like, aren't you a natural alpha? This shows the lack of awareness, the high level of ineptitude, the stupidity of the modern woman. And again, I'm not going to blame her for her ignorance. But if anything, I really want you guys to see this because what she's saying embodies how women view male self-improvement in general. If you have a girl, let's say you're a charming guy, you're an attractive guy, right? You got all kinds of riz. You invite a girl to your place, and she sees a book that says, How to Get Women 101. I hate to say it, but she is going to lose a little bit of attraction for you. She is. Because again, Rolo says this all the time. Observing the process changes the process. They don't care to know how you became made. They just care that you are made. And quite frankly, it's better for her to not even know how you were made. Make the pizza. She doesn't got to in the back seeing how you did it. Now, here's the difference between us and them. If you go to a woman's house and you see a book, you see how to be a better girlfriend, how to retain a man, how to become a wife, most of us would probably be pretty impressed because most women are lazy and don't give a about actually getting a guy and retaining a guy and being a good long-term partner. Women want to get married, but they don't want to be wives. You see the difference? She goes to your house, how to get women, ill, creep, loser. Why do you need to read a book on this? We go to a woman's house, how to be a wife, how to get a man, blah, blah, blah. We're going to say, damn, okay, she's actually trying. Men respect effort. Women don't. And the reason why women don't respect effort is because they've never had to actually put effort in to get a partner, whereas we do. And since most women don't give a about us, we notice if a female does for us. An attractive woman over her lifetime will more than likely probably get flowers, gifts, praise, free dates, attention, free trips, whatever, for simply being a woman. A man in that same span might get maybe 2 or 3 gifts in his entire lifetime. Most men don't get their flowers until they're dead. Do you get that? I'm going to say that again. Most men don't get their flowers until they're dead on their funeral day. Meanwhile, these useless get flowers every February 14th for bringing nothing to the table. So since men rarely get praise, rarely get appreciation from the opposite gender, guess what happens when we get it? We actually know how to behave. We actually appreciate it because for a man to get a gift from a woman, for a man to get a flower from a woman or get anything from a woman for that matter, for all intents and purposes, not saying you want a flower or whatever, but to get anything from a female as a male is rare. So we appreciate it. And this is precisely why the man must always be the adored person in the relationship. As you guys know, Orion, right? We've had him on the show a couple of times. We talked about this in detail. Go watch that episode. It was great. But to summarize here, for today, for the purposes of this monologue here, in a relationship, there's always going to be someone that cares more than the other in the relationship. In other words, there's always going to be a party chasing the other more. Mainstream society will tell you, happy wife, happy life. You need to make the girl happy. That shit. That's stupid and it's wrong. It's happy king, happy kingdom, because you built the kingdom. This just living in it. And the reason why you need to be the one that's being adored is because we know how to behave when we get any type of appreciation. Women don't. From the time this goes through puberty, she's already having men giving her cards, giving her gifts, giving her presents, giving her praise for nothing more than the fact that she's a female. Well, guess what happens when you get praise without earning it? You become a rotten piece of shit. Many of you are probably familiar with the game Pokemon. We're really going to go back on this one. If you guys remember playing the game Pokemon back in the day, red and blue version, there was a cheat code, the Missing Go cheat code. And what you would be able to do is you'd be able to get a bunch of rare candies. A rare candy, for those who are not aware, is a candy that you can give to your Pokemon and it levels them up once. There was a cheat code that would allow you to get infinite rare candies and feed it to your Pokemon and get them all to level 100. Okay? Quickly explaining this for those that are not familiar with Pokemon. Now, interestingly enough, I did an experiment. Okay? I took a team of 6 Pokemon. One, I did the cheat code. I gave them all candies up to level 100. Then I took another set of Pokemon and I trained them. Fighting other Pokemon, going to Elite Four, beating them a million times, competing against people with Game Boy Link, whatever. Right? Same exact Pokemon, same exact attacks. But here's the difference. The Pokemon with the rare candies were weaker than the Pokemon that actually trained. The Pokemon that I trained had higher attack, higher defense, higher speed, higher everything. Versus the Pokemon that were also level 100, but I gave them rare candies, they were weaker in every measurable metric. So what does this mean? This is perfectly symbolic of the male and female experience. Men must work to get their praise. It is harder for us. It takes more time. But when it's said and done, we're a better Pokemon. Women, on the other hand, get everything given to them, and this is why they suck at everything, and they're the weaker Pokemon. So this is precisely why men need to be the one that are appreciated ones, because we have to work for everything that we get. Women don't. Women are candy consumers with a cheat code. That's why they suck at everything. Meanwhile, we got to go fight the Elite Four for 20 years to get to level 100. But when we get to that level 100, we're on a different level. That is the difference, my friends. I know that was a very nerdy analogy, but I need you guys to understand that men and women are not the same. We do not go through the same obstacles. We do not deal with the same difficulties at all. Well, will we get periods? What the up? It's 2026. Men live a significantly harder life than women do. As a matter of fact, I can't even think of a privilege or a right that men have that women don't. However, I can think of a bunch of privileges and rights that women have that men don't. A bunch. Now, going back to this whole adored versus not, right? Since women never have to work for anything, giving them praise, all it's going to do is make you be all the other that have given her everything simply for being a female. Now, I know what some of you guys are saying. Myron, I treat my girl like a princess. This is what are you talking about, dude? I treat my girl good. I'm a gentleman. Also, the chivalry argument, right? Look, maybe in the 1950s, women appreciated that shit, but they don't anymore. Times have changed. Okay? Times have changed. We have a new normal. And since women have all the same rights and privileges that you have, chivalry doesn't work anymore. Because the problem is this. Women want to be treated like a lady while simultaneously wanting the independence and authority of a man. Well, which one is it? I'll tell you which one it is. They want selective responsibility. They want the ability to act like you and do what you do with none of the accountability. They want none of the responsibility. They want all the authority a man has with none of the responsibility. That's where we are now. Now, let me ask you guys this. Another reason why your woman has to respect you more, right? Or why she has to like you more than you like her. If I told you that the person that you were dealing with was emotionally erratic, goes through a period once a month where their emotions flutter all over the place, they're weak, they're indecisive, they're not rational, they interpret their emotions, they're harder to please, more likely to break up, erratic, spontaneous, right? What are all these? These are female traits, right? These are female traits. Versus if I go ahead and contrast that with the male traits, stoic, emotionally stable. Even the most emotional of men a lot of times tend to be more emotionally stable than the most stoic of females. Deductive problem solver, logical, etc. Right? Which party needs more emotional attention? I'm going back to the adored thing here. Stick with me. When I say that there needs to be one adore and then the adored, I'm saying the man needs to be the adored. And the reason why I'm saying that is because one party is more likely to destroy the relationship. One party is likely to be more irrational. One party is more emotional. One party isn't the same day to day based on their emotions and their hormones. One party is physically weaker. One party is less rational. One party is less logical. Versus the other side, the other party exhibits all of the weaknesses that the female does, right? Which is that we know it's the female. If one party requires way more emotional stimuli and all the other, who do you think needs to be the adorer? It needs to be the woman. The reason why it needs to be the woman is because women need emotional turmoil and emotional stimuli to be happy in a relationship. Do you guys get this? She needs to be the one feeling the butterflies. She's the one that needs to have the anxiety of whether you like her or not. She needs to be the one chasing your validation. She's the one that needs to say, damn, like, I don't know, man, every time I'm with this guy, there's other girls that want to be around him. She needs to feel that pressure. She needs to feel it. A lot of you stupid will sit there and say, well, let me go ahead and pursue my girl. Let me go ahead and make her feel like the prize. Let me go ahead and do all this extra work. That shit. She gets bored and she leaves. The worst thing you can do with a female is bore her, bro. That's the worst thing you can do. Women don't respect nice guys at all, ever, unfortunately. So guess what? You have to be the one to be the emotional stimuli. And the only way she's going to get that emotional stimulation is when she's not sure where she stands with you. How do you do that? You do that through the self-improvement that Iggy Azalea, the dumb she is, doesn't know exists. The self-improvement makes you attractive. Once you become attractive, other men want to be you, other women want to be with you. Your woman sees this, anxiety builds, she sticks to you and says, damn, I got a here. I ain't going nowhere. This can replace me at any time. I need to stick by his side. I need to now work for this man. Well, guess what? That's a 180. Because for the rest, this entire life, she's never had to work for anything. So guess what? You come around, now she's chasing you. She's putting in work for you. She's never done before. But guess what? Her brain says, oh shit, I'm chasing the guy. This feels good. I have the prize. Why? Because women have some weirdo shit in their mind called hypergamy. What is hypergamy? It is the pursuit of men that are better than themselves. In order for you to satisfy said hypergamy, she must feel like you are better than her. And guess what? That bill's due every day. Whether it's you going to the gym and she sees that you're training all the time, or her seeing you work super hard at 3 o'clock in the morning, or her seeing you walking around and other women checking you out, that bill's due every day. A lot of you stupid in here, fat as stomach hanging out, dirty neck beard, and you wonder why your girl doesn't like you anymore. Because nobody likes you anymore. She's still stuck with the bag holding your dumb. So your girl must be reminded all the time that other want you. That's the only way they stay attracted to you. I'm sorry. I wish it wasn't that way. But women are at it. They are. Women need other women's approval to find that they're going to approve you. I'm going to say that again. Women need a cosign and approval from other women to realize if they want to approve you. What does this mean? They're not single thought. They don't have the ability to think for themselves. They need constant affirmation and reinforcement that you're that guy. And like I said before, that bill is due every day. Whether it's you're out with her at the gym or you're walking with her down the street to the mall or whatever, the females turning their heads, other men coming up to you or saying, what's up? You having social proof, that bill's due every day. That's extremely important to women. Not important to us. Matter of fact, we'd be pissed off if she was getting stopped by everybody saying, hey, what's up? Oh, she's a social butterfly. No guy wants a social butterfly, bro. That's a lie. But women definitely want a social butterfly guy. Why? Because we all know for a man to be a social butterfly, that's right. We all know for a man to be a social butterfly, she's more than likely doing wrong. We're not the same. So in other words, to bring this all back for she needs to chase your validation. Why? Because she's erratic, emotional, and she's not the same day to day. And women need emotional stimuli to feel attached to the relationship. The only way she's going to get that if she doesn't know where she stands when she's with you. We don't need that shit. We don't need that stress. Life already sucks enough for us. We don't need to see other gawking at our girl to realize our girl's hot. We don't need to see her, the life of the party, for us to know that she's hot. We're independent thinkers. Men lead revolutions. We don't need approval from other tell us what the like. But women are not independent thinkers. They need other people to tell them what they need to like because they're stupid. And I'm the only person, one of the few on the internet that understands this very uncomfortable human dynamic. There's a reason why I wrote 2 books, Amazon sellers, #1 in psychology, both times, and feminist theory, because I know these better than they know themselves. They can't even explain any concepts to you. I do it every day. I finish their sentences for them on after hours. I tell you guys why they're saying the stupid shit that they say. I've broken the third wall in the book with these hoes nowadays. And once you understand women at a deep level, there's no way you can respect them as equals. Because they're not. They're inferior to us in every single way. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is why men build civilization, not women. This is why men lead revolutions, not women. This is why men have taken us out of the darkest of times, not women. And I'm tired of having to bite my tongue about this shit as if women contribute to the same level as us. They don't. And Iggy Azalea's stupid comment about, well, if you need a coach, that's kind of weird. Her making a statement like that proves what I've always said about women in general. Most of them don't understand your struggle. Most of them don't care about your struggle. And quite frankly, this is why you need to be the leader at all times. Because they really don't know what the you're talking about. If you pull the girl over to the side of the road and ask her, what do you like in a guy? She won't even be able to tell you what it is. She's going to say stupid, like, I just need a vibe. What? I need a vibe. What the is a vibe? She can't even tell you. Bro, it's ridiculous to me that we have women in positions of power that are equal to you. They can't even tell you what they're attracted to. They can't even tell you what they want to eat for lunch. But some of you stupid, let your girl run your life. You can't even run a Taco Bell and figure out what she wants to eat. You want her to run your life? You stupid. You deserve to get roasted. You deserve to get broken up with. You deserve to get cheated on. You put her in a leadership role. It's like putting a 15-year-old in an F-35 and then wonder why I got shot down. What are you doing? What are you doing? If men don't lead and the woman leads, I'll tell you what she's going to lead you to. Destruction, bro. So it's for all these different reasons that I explained why you must always be the leader. Iggy Azalea's stupid comment about, oh, you should just get it, bro. Self-improvement is bad or whatever. This is precisely why women can never, ever have authority over a man. This is a 35-year-old woman, by the way, FYI, just so you guys know. This is a 35-year-old woman. This ain't some 21-year-old Dumbo. This is a 35-year-old woman. And like I told you guys before, despite what popular society tells you, that women mature faster than men, that's a lie, bro. That is a big lie. Women don't mature until they buy their own drinks at the bar.
Bombocat!
Okay? Women don't mature until they stop getting attention from men.
Bombocat!
It's that simple. As soon as that stops having trying to buy her drinks or giving her attention, whatever, that's when she magically all of a sudden wants to figure out what men want. Because most women, quite frankly, don't give a what men want. They don't care about retaining a guy. And this is why they don't care about self-improvement, because they never had to do it. We respect self-improvement because we know, as a man, it's required. For women, Again, and this comes back to the first analogy I gave you guys. If a woman comes to your house and sees you have a book saying how to get women, how to be more attractive, whatever, she's going to think you're weird. But if you go to a woman's house and it says how to get men or how to get a husband or how to cook, right? And she's putting like some real type of effort into being a better girlfriend or wife, you're gonna be like, damn, I could respect this. And the reason why we respect it is because we understand that working towards is important. We understand meritocracy. We understand hard work. We understand self-improvement. Women don't understand this shit. Going back to the rare candy analogy, they got the cheat codes. They level up to 100 with no effort. You don't have the cheat codes. You got to level up to 100 with a lot of effort. We are not the same. And since we are not the same, I'm not going to treat them the same. This is precisely why I don't respect women as equals, and I'm not going to apologize for it. I'll end with this. You can either understand women or respect them as an equal. You will never be able to do both. You can either understand women or respect them as an equal. You will never be able to do both. Because once you truly understand their psychology, how they behave, how weak they are, how feeble they are, how disoriented they are, no coordination, throw a ball at her, can't catch it, oh shit, gets hit in the head. No dexterity, no physical, no lung capacity. They literally suck at everything. Once you truly understand at a deep level that women are inferior to us in every single way, there's no way you can accept them as an equal to you. And quite frankly, they prefer it that way. They'd prefer for you to say, we're going to do this. They'd prefer for you to say, yo, this is how things are going to go. They'd prefer for you to just everything every day. Anyway, their job is to be there and be pretty and have kids. That's their job. But for some odd reason, right? Because society wants to be inclusive all the time, we let them come and join us in certain fields. We even water down those fields so they can join. Hey, you're weak as stupid, don't have any type of coordination, but let's make you a cop. Okay. She can't have physical requirements. So now we got to lower the requirements to let them in. So now the police force is weaker and less qualified to protect the citizens because we wanted to let women in. Inclusivity is for. We need more exclusivity to keep the women out. They want to be in the military. They want to be cops. They want to do these physical labor jobs. But we have different standards. But yet they want equality. Makes no sense. We're being inclusive to bring in incompetent, weaker, inferior individuals. It is what it is. This is where we are. So once again, you can either understand them or respect them as equals, but you cannot do both. Because once you actually have the black pill in your head about how women really are, you understand their psychology, their physiology, everything. It's impossible for any rationally sound individual to look at them as equals. They are subordinates. We are here to protect and provide for them. Even though my enemies will never clip that part, we are responsible for their protection and their safety. Because quite frankly, they can't save you. So you might as well put the burden on yourself. Anyway,